So what I'm doing here in part 8 is star masking, what stars we've got, just to make them a little bit smaller. I'm going to try to do a bit of work on the background and also the colour. The reason I'm having a tough time with this image is because I actually only ended up with 9 usable subframes, which is not a lot for this, and it's also a full moon, so having a tough time. I think it shows a good example of what you can do when you've got rubbish data. It's quite easy to produce a good image when you've got really good data, but when you've got poor data like I have here, it's quite interesting to see what can be pulled out of it. So first job we're going to have a go at is star mask. These can be a bit tricky to do, but there's the process opened up. What we do to kick this off is grab a preview of some stars like that. So that's just that little area there, and then with the default settings drag this triangle over the image, and in a couple of minutes it'll come back and show us what that looks like as a star mask. Right, that's what it's showing us. Now see all this white here? Not these are the stars obviously, but see all these white dots? This is noise. We don't want that in this whatsoever. So what we have to do to get rid of that is we need to increase this noise threshold. Now I've already tried this and I know this has to go up to 0.4 to be effective, so I'm going to close that down and wind this up to 0.4 like this, and drag the triangle over the preview again and see what that comes back with. Okay, so I had to wind the noise threshold up to 0.45. This looks pretty much okay. What we do now we've found the right settings, is apply this to the whole image. Like this. And then we'll have our star mask in a couple of minutes. Okay, so there's the star mask. We can get rid of the process now. And what we'll do is just bring that up in size, drag this star mask over the top there, and if you click like this, you'll see that it's actually covering all the smaller stars. The bigger ones are still there, and obviously the nebula is still there, but the smaller stars have been protected. So what we do then is drag this tab down here, and that will apply the mask to the image, and we can remove that preview now and minimize the star mask, just like that. Next job will be to hide the mask. We don't need to see this redness or anything when we're working on the image, so just click show mask, that hides it. Go figure. Then we open the Morphological Transformation tool, and again we need another preview to do star tests on, to see what happens when we apply the settings to the stars. We do this because if you apply it to the whole image, it just takes too long for each of these tests, so we just apply it to the preview window first. So there's our stars, and we'll drop this transformation tool onto these selected stars just to see what happens with the default settings first. So those settings have now been applied to this preview. There's a little button up here which says redo preview and undo preview. I don't know if you can see the stars as I'm clicking that on and off. See, they're getting smaller. That's exactly what we want to happen. We want to minimize some of the stars on the whole image. So that is actually good enough. I'm going to stick with that. Not going to fiddle about anymore with this. So what we do next is we apply this to the whole image by dragging the triangle over there and waiting for 3 or 4 minutes while it processes. So now we remove the preview, we're done with that. Remove the mask, so click mask, remove mask, and shut this down here, we don't need that anymore. And shut down Morphological Transformation. And that's just our mask done. So there's probably loads more I could do to this image, but I'm going to do one more thing, and that is to increase the colour saturation of this, make it a bit redder. I'd say there's probably lots more I could do to this image. I'm not really an expert with pixinsight. I'm learning it still, trying to figure out what everything does. There's so many options in this software, I don't know them all. So I'm just going to use the colour saturation here to finish this off. So what I've done here is I've used this slider to move into the red band just here, and I'm going to click in the centre here. I think I'm doing this right, and I'm just going to, hang on, just after putting on the real-time preview, of course, I'm just going to click there. I'm going to pull the centre of that up like that, and you'll see that it makes stuff redder. So, looks okay to me. So I'm going to shut that down, drag the little triangle over the window, and hopefully it will produce a pleasing result. There we go. And that's me done on this particular image. So this is the Flame Nebula, about 9 4-minute exposures on a moonlit night. So don't think I've done too bad. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.